Round 3 coming at you. We got our 2 table 1 players here. We have Viserai versus Starvo. Before the game even started, I told him, I said, guys, take me back to 2022 because this is what it reminds me of. I also was laughingly telling the story about how I thought I was going to be like the chain master at PT1, and that was not the case. All right, so Viserai doing Viserai things here early, activating Grasp of the Arcanite. Ooh, putting a Malefic incantation into play, and then playing Sonata Galaxia. So really starting off very powerfully here to be able to put a Blessing of Oculate into play, make 2 Rune Chants. What a start to the game. What a start to the game. But also, we see Kuzco discarding a Fruits of the Forest here to gain a couple life. This is going to be good. I'm excited to see this because I know that Nold is a longtime Viserai player, and Kuzco is very good. So watching him play Starvo, oh, automatic. Automatic. Never didn't have it. Just has the fuse to start off with. Pitches the Blink to come in for 8 Dominate here, just trying to get as much value as he can. Unfortunately, it's just the Autumn's Touch. There's not really anything crazy powerful behind this. Like there's no Crush the Weeks here. There's no, Spinal Crushes or Starstrucks or anything like that. Just trying to get as much value as we can here. But A, Dominate is a great way to start the game, especially after gaining 2 life here. What's the ice card we have? A Hypothermia? So it's going to be pitch the Hypothermia for Winter's Well, and then it's going to be Arsenal, an unknown card here. Something that's also pretty cool to note, in my opinion, is that Starvo can just play Lightning Greaves, which is really cool because you can actually gain action points and do crazy things against stuff like Arclight Sentinel, which is really cool. And it also having AB1 built in is just really sweet. So we're seeing Starvo with a pretty hot start to the game here. Kuzco really just trying to push a lot of pressure here early game. Just trying to put Viserai down as much as possible, but to be honest, Viserai had a very, very powerful start to this game. We're already seeing cards from Rosetta with Malefic Incantation into play, and we're really going to see a lot of value out of this Bloodsheath Skeleton here, just getting a lot of value and really trying to just really, probably going for like more of like a burst / OTK kind of plan, I imagine, is what Null's going to be going for here. I think OTK is pretty much the plan against Starvo. I know it was back in the day. That was always the game plan, was just to be as, like, we were just, like, blocking as much as possible. So it'd be cool if there was, like, a Read the Runes left in his hand here. 5 Rune Chants and then playing a Read the Runes to be able to go up to 8. No, we're just going to play Sonata here. Okay. So just trying to turn on Viserai and get some value going. 3 attacks, which is unfortunate. So a big Whiffsky. And nothing that Null's really able to set up here. All right, Kuzco pitches a red Autumn's Touch to Crown of Seeds to be able to try and filter a little bit, looking for something else to do next turn. There is not a fuse here, which means that there is a non-ice card in Kuzco's hand. We know that for sure after watching the Fruits and the Electromagnetic Somersault come back down, and this is going to be coming in for 9. Spinal Crush does a good job of getting cards out of Viserai's hand and trying his best to make things awkward here. Ooh, we're seeing a Grasp and a Skeleton block here just early on. Block with 1 card, Skeleton, Grasp, pretty early on, to be honest. I don't know, it's a little bit earlier than I would think, looking at how I'm expecting this game to play out, but maybe Noel's just going to be trying to push as much as he can here. All right. Kuzco has Crown of Seeds and pitches a blue, so we have Fruits of the Forest, leaves 2 floating, and we're looking at the arcane damage here. I imagine we're going to be at least using the card that we pitched to be able to block Rune Chants this turn, but with a Mordred Tide, pitching extra blues is never going to be a bad thing because you know that there's going to be more Rune Chants coming in, and this is going to be 1 go again. The blue Rune Rager Swarm, honestly not that impressive when you look at it as a whole, but still it's added a lot of consistency to Viserai, and I think that's one of the things that Viserai was really looking for as far as just like cards in general and power things that they can be doing. Consistency, like power level from Viserai was never the problem. It was always the fact that they needed some consistency. So 2 Rune Chants left over on the back end, and then this is going to be 6 physical. I'm curious to see if Kuzco actually gives up any cards here, or if this is just going to be take 6, fall down to 30, and then just like play a crazy good hand back. Nope. Blocks with Starstruck and Autumn's Touch. He's going to get both of those cards back. Value Town. So now, if there is a if there's a blue, we're actually going to be able to throw the Starstruck here for 10. Yep, absolutely. Insane value here. So the yellow and the blue paired with Tunic, getting the value that we want to be able to throw Starstruck. Blue Electromagnetic Somersault is getting insane value so far. You honestly love to see it. It's been absolutely crazy to witness so far, and just to kind of have everything put together here. Like this has been solid. This has been solid. Like you're really seeing the power level of Starvo here. But I have to say, we've also really seen the power level of Viserai here. Viserai's had a pretty positive start here, but still only got Starvo down to 36. Read the Runes is probably the best card we could have here. Okay. So pitching Rune Rager Swarm to come in with Rosetta Thord for 2 physical and 2 rune chance here. All right, Cusco falls down to 34 from the 2 rune chance and falls down to 32. So I imagine we have a Starvo activation incoming here, or something pretty powerful that we can be doing. Probably a Starvo activation if I had to guess. No, it's just a Crippling Crush. Blink, Icequake, and Somersault. Man, we were an Earth card. We were an Earth card away from doing crazy shenanigans right here. Absolutely insane to see this. Crippling Crush just coming in. It would have been so much better to see a Starvo activation there, but one of the things that I think like is actually like people struggle with understanding is that Starvo is actually like there's a lot of pitch stacking involved in Starvo and like setting up for second cycle. But you know, Cusco's really just pushing a lot of tempo here, just trying to put Null on the back foot. Like 2 turns in a row here, we have seen Null just swing Rosetta Thorn. That's been all that Null has done 2 turns in a row here, off the back of what Cusco has been able to do here. Okay, Trip to Light, fantastic. Off the Starvo activation means that we can throw Autumn's Touch for 9, dominate, and go again. And then we can pitch the blue Icequake to be able to throw the Winner's Well here. Really trying to get a lot of value. Blue Icequake is like really sweet actually. And it's really cool to see the blue Trip to Light Fantastic and the blue Fruits of the Forest seeing play in the Starvo deck, because I think those are honestly just very good upgrades from what Starvo was playing previously. You know, Rosetta really gave a lot of upgrades to just Runeblade in general, and also like the Tales of Aria talents. Now, I know that Starvo didn't come out in Tales of Aria, it did come out in Everfest, but still, like it's the only hero we've seen with three different talents that you have, the lightning, earth, and ice here. So Starvo really showing his value and putting on a lot of pressure here. All right, Null blocks with a Succumb to Temptation here. And then it's probably going to be the Winner's Well off the back of the blue Icequake here. And then we do not know what the last card here that Cusco is going to Arsenal is. But still, either way, setting up a pretty good hand, pushing some damage here and really getting a lot of value for what we're looking for. We get Grasp and Amplify the Arknight here. Okay. Yep, and then Cusco Arsenals, and we're going to see what Null's able to put together. A Deadwood Dirge here. Gonna have to destroy the Malefic Incantation to make 3 rune chance, and then playing that to go up to 4, down to 3, and then up to 6. So creating 6 rune chance off the back of Deadwood Dirges is pretty good. I would say that's a pretty good turn all the way around. Cusco probably trying to look for a Starvo activation here. I imagine multiple Earth cards in hand, just trying to get a lot of value here. Does rip into it, actually. So this is probably going to be blue Earth form for 7 go again, if I had to guess. No, we're using Tunic pretty early on, so it's going to be Icequake. And then it's going to be the Earth form. Okay, so this is going to be for what? 8, dominate, go again. On a hit, get a Frostbite, and then Embodiment of Earth. Really seeing a lot of value out of the Starvo deck. Cusco just doing everything he can here to really just try and put Null on the back foot. Like, the further he can push Null back, the better off he's going to be, I think. Also, The one thing that I have to say that interests me about the Starvo deck is actually the fact that he's playing Crater Fist over like Gauntlets of Iron Will. I don't know if the Crater Fist is just there to like get the extra 2 points that you maybe need, or what we're really looking for there. But ooh, the reduced to Runechant text actually playing into a big factor here because it pays for the Frostbite because it costs X less, which is really cool. So it actually gets around the Frostbite effect from the Icequake that Cusco was able to give him on the following turn, or on the previous attack there. Okay. Sonata Galaxia, which I think if it's X's 2 or more, it does have Go Again. So I think this will have Go Again here off the back of having all the Rune Chants. Another blue Rune Rager Swarm is kind of interesting, to be honest. Probably not exactly what Null wants to be doing here. I imagine he'd rather be throwing some more powerful attacks, or just some other better stuff here. Malefic makes a Rune Chant on the back. Viserai makes a Rune Chant on the back. And Cusco does fall down to 22 here. And Rune Rager Swarm comes in for 1. Cusco giving up the Stalagmite here, trying to get value out of the Frostbite to be able to stifle whatever Null's trying to do here, maybe throw Rosetta Thorn. But it appears that either the Frostbite got a ton of value there based off of what Null kept in his hand, or we're actually just seeing the value that we wanted there. Okay, so Earthform for 7, Go Again. Revealing Earthform, Channel Lake Frigid, and Heaven's Claw. Pitching to Heaven's Claw, so this is 7, Dominate, Go Again. We're seeing a lot of natural Starvo activations from what's happening here. Just getting like a lot of very good... Just getting a lot of like very good early value so that Cusco is actually able to put Null on the back foot as much as possible. It is worth noting that it's a very close game here. I don't really know how Skeletor is going to play into this, if there's going to be another setup turn followed by become the Arc Knight to be able to try and get as much value out of Skeletor as possible here. So this is 7, Dominate, Go Again. Looks like Null's really giving this one a think. Maybe thinking, all right, maybe we need to go in here. Maybe this is our hand to push in. Nope, just kidding. Decides to block with the Rattlebones, and Cusco makes an Embodiment of Earth. And then we're pitching the Channel Lake Frigid to be able to throw the Winter's Well as a Frosty 4 here. And then our last card that we have is we don't know what the last card is here. So we're actually getting an unknown card into Cusco's arsenal here. Seeing a lot of very good Starvo play so far. This feels like it's been very, very clean play from Cusco so far this game. Null really showing a lot of patience so far. Trying to push some damage to make sure that the life totals are staying kind of close here throughout the game. But we're also seeing that Null is showing a lot of patience here. Null is showing patience here in the fact that he hasn't popped Skeletor yet. We haven't seen anything that's really felt impatient or anything. The one Sonata did kind of hurt him a little bit earlier, kind of bite him in the butt. But we've seen a lot of patience so far, and I'm really excited to see how this one plays out because it feels like there's been a lot of back and forth. The one thing that's noting is that Crown of Seeds will really continue to bail Cusco out if he needs it to. Let's see how this goes. It's just Rosetta Thorn, so we're pitching a yellow to come in with 2 Rune Chants and a Thorn, so it's just going to be 2 Rune Chants and 2 physical. Cusco pitches a Current Funnel to Crown of Seeds, blocking the Rune Chants and leaving the Crown of Seeds available. Probably not going to give up a card here, just going to take 1 and fall down to 21, letting the Crown soak 1 of the 2 physical from the Rosetta Thorn, and then the Embodiment of Earth pops. Do we have a Starvo activation? Winter's Bite, Current Funnel, and Autumn's Touch. Yo, what? What is this? Cut Through the Facade. A 3 for 7. This can't be defended by auras. When this hits a hero, you may destroy an aura they control. Insane tech here coming out from Cusco. Now, I may be behind. This may have been in Lucas Oswald's deck. This may have been somebody else's deck. But to help fight Viserai, this is looking really solid. I wonder if this is a one-of, just as to help with the Viserai matchup a little bit. But being able to Starvo this in and get rid of the Malefic incantation is absolutely insane. And we're seeing real value here. We're seeing real value in the cut through the facade. That is a sweet tech card right there. These generic actions that we've seen in the last few sets, this one is from Rosetta, but just seeing some of these generic actions see play in these Living Legend formats is really cool, and I've really enjoyed seeing that. So Null takes 6 and loses the Malefic incantation, which is actually a really big hit, all things considered. That is a very good card to see from Cusco's side of the board here. A Frosty 4 coming across the board here. Being up 21-9 at this point and taking a lot of cards out of Null's hand, it's really looking like Cusco's in the driver's seat so far. But if I've learned anything about Viserai, it's that it can flip the game on a dime and that you never know what's going to come out from their side. Malefic Incantation is the play here, and then we're going to pass back over to Cusco. Cusco pitches a Winter's Grasp to activate Crown, probably trying to set up a Starvo activation if possible here. Not sure if it's possible, but just trying to if they can. Wow, just coming in with a Polarize. Dude, Cusco is just back to back to back to back. It is non-stop pressure, just doing everything he can to put them on the back foot. This Pulverize is huge. Lining up with Tunic to turn that it come up is absolutely insane. He must have pitched a card last turn to Crown to be trying to find a blue. Maybe he found the Pulverize there. Maybe it was the Pulverize. And then we're seeing the Face Purgatory come in. This is something that's not been dominated, so we are seeing the Face Purgatory come in, which makes sense. Probably going to block with everything that is not... Going to block with everything that's not the Skeleton here, I imagine. Just trying to stay alive here at this point. What is this? Taking 6? Nope, just kidding. We're going to play a Reduced to Rune Chant. So now we're taking 2, falling down to 7. Pulverize does hit, which is very powerful. But I don't think it's going to see an insane amount of value here because Null does only have 1 card in hand. So the -4 could be very good, but this could just be play Read the Runes from Null, and then it could be move on to the next turn from here, just trying to set up and kind of ignoring the Pulverize effect. Okay, so we see 4 Rune Chants. Oh man, another cut through the facade. So this is obviously not a one-of tech. This is not a one-of tech. Man, being able to destroy another Rune Chant like that, or even the Malefic here, would be insane, because you could really be cutting into the value from Skeleton here. You're trying to get off that big Sonata to really make a big play happen for you. There's been a lot of back and forth here. This has been like an absolute powerhouse of a match. Excuse me. Really enjoyed like this game and just watching this play out here. This has been very good. This has been very good. All right, so we're going to see block for 3, and then he's actually going to let that come across for 4. Interesting. Now, Cusco has a decision. Is it Rune Chant or Malefic? I'm going to be honest, I don't know. Cusco decides that it is Rune Chant. And then he does not swing the hammer because there was no reveal. This was just the 3 for 7. That was all his turn could be here. I kind of figured that Null might block more, to be honest, and then just try to... Oh, no, here we go. We're going all in on the Mordred turn. Null has decided that this is his moment. This is what we're looking for. Skeleton comes in, and now we have a Sonata. So this is going to cost... It's a number of Rune Chants you're going to play. And he is going to pitch into it. And what are we going to hit? We reveal Sonata, Phantasmia, Rattlebones, Meet and Greet, Rune Flash, and Vexing Malice. Rune Flash Blue and Red Meet and Greet are added to the hand, and we're dealing 2 arcane damage to Cusco. I really don't think this is the turn that Null has been looking for, but I think Null's kind of saying, you know what, it's probably now or never. There's probably nothing else that I can do here. Okay, so Cusco wanted a Crown of Seeds here before that came through. Just trying to look to block as much of it as possible here. Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Just kind of playing that out. Using Crown to just block all the arcane there makes a lot of sense. And then this is going to be 2 go again. 5 Rune Chants, and we're going to make 4 on the back end, 2 from the Malefic, and then 2 more from Viserai. So we're going to end with 4 Rune Chants in play. It's going to be 2 physical and 5 Rune Chants coming at Kuzco here. How is he going to defend? With 2 floating, I can't imagine this is looking like a very good Stalagmite option. Oh, Blizzard. Blizzard could get a lot of value here. Blizzard could get an insane amount of value right here, to be honest. It really depends on what Null's hand looks like. Now the Stalagmite could be insane. It really depends on what the rest of Null's hand looks like. Like if it's a couple reds here, the Stalagmite's looking very powerful. Let's see if Kuzco's willing to give up the Stalagmite, or if Kuzco's going to hang on to it for another turn. I mean, I have to imagine like this is Null's turn. This is when you want to be playing it. This is what we're looking for. Using any and everything we can to just try and disrupt our opponent. If it is 2 reds, it's still just throwing Rosetta Thorn, but I think that's okay. Blocking with Crater Fist and the Stalagmite to play around Succumb to Temptation there. Just trying to make sure that we're blocking as much value as we can. Okay. And then it's going to be pitch a red for Rune Rager Swarm. So the 2 reds there actually insane value. I would have thought that you would pitch Thorn. Pitch both of those to come in with Thorn. I guess it's just more damage to throw Thorn there. I'm not really sure why we're throwing the Rune Rager Swarm. Feels like maybe a little bit of a misstep, all things considered, but who knows? I'd be curious to know what's going through Null's mind right there as far as everything he's thinking there. Cut Through the Facade again. Jeez. We have seen all 3 copies of Cut Through the Facade in 11 turns, which I know 11 turns is like actually quite a few. It's not like that's like, you know, it's not like it's been 4 turns and we've seen 3 copies of it, but it has been, it's been very good. Cut Through the Facade has been absolutely insane. And the fact that it can't be defended by auras means that there's actually a really good chance that a lot of Null's hand can't defend because he's playing a lot of auras in his deck and trying to set up things like Malefic Incantation, or, you know, Oculus of the Cult or whatever it's called. Okay, so we do get 3 cards out of Null's hand here. The one question we really have to be asking ourselves at this point is, you know, there is the concern of fatigue. Null has access to 20 cards from here. And, you know, Kuzco's up quite a few cards here. Like, quite a few cards. Kuzco's up on cards quite a bit. This is really all that Null's turn is going to be, is just the yellow Rune Rager Swarm here. All right, Kuzco falls down to 9. I imagine 1 Starvo activation ends the game here. Nope, just another Spinal Crush. Okay. Just another Spinal Crush coming in here. I believe that's the second Spinal Crush. That is the second Spinal Crush. Okay, so no Starvo activation here, but just coming in for 9. And then we have an Arsenal. We have a Rune Rager Swarm for 3 and 1 Rune Chant. Crown of Siege, pitching an Awakening. Awakening's probably not going to get the value you want here throughout the rest of the game, to be honest. So blocking the Rune Chant, and then we have 1 floating. Could give up the Crater Fist here. Could give up a card. Could fall down to 7 if that's the route that you want to go. I'm not exactly sure. It really depends on what is in Kuzco's hand, right? Because if he has a Starvo activation here, he's probably just going to fall down to 7. Winter's Bite takes a card out of hand. There is no Starvo activation, but we do lead on a Winter's Bite here. So we could be seeing the value of just taking multiple cards out of the hand. Null down to 16 cards when you count the 4 in his hand. So fatigue at this point is probably a real concern. Now, we did see Null pitch the Sonata. I assume that we were trying to set that up, but probably felt like he had to go for a bigger turn there. Ooh, coming in with Hammer. The Pulse of Volthaven just coming in for 8. So there were no Earth cards in the hand. All right. Null's just giving up all 3 cards here just to stay alive. Kuzco's able to Arsenal. And then we're going to pass. Going back to Cusco's turn. Okay, there is... Oh, no. Oh, no. We're just seeing it all here. The Oakenold for 11. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And then he's able to close it out with the Dominate effect there. I'm going to be honest, looking back on the game, it really felt like Null never had a chance to breathe. Like there wasn't much room for Null to be able to get back into the driver's seat there and really be able to take care of anything. So we just saw Starvo kind of doing Starvo things. Although I was kind of expecting a late game push from Viserai, it just wasn't enough.